Small and mid-sized businesses increasingly rely on Microsoft 365 for email, file storage, and collaboration. That makes it a high-value target for attackers. Securing Microsoft 365 requires layered controls across data protection, identity monitoring, and access governance. This guide focuses on Microsoft 365 security for SMBs with practical, actionable steps. 1. Data loss prevention and prohibited data sharing. The first critical control is data loss prevention, or DLP, managed through Microsoft Purview and implemented via well-scoped Microsoft Purview DLP policies. DLP enforces data source and destination controls, defining exactly what users are allowed to share and where that data can go. This includes enforcing rules around external sharing in SharePoint and OneDrive, as well as outbound email filtering in Exchange Online to control what users are allowed to send and receive. Equally important is data type enforcement. Organizations should define policies based on the specific categories of data that exist within their Microsoft 365 environment. This includes trade secrets, intellectual property, and regulated sensitive data such as PCI and PHI, particularly for organizations operating in highly regulated industries like healthcare or finance. These controls significantly reduce the risk of accidental or intentional data leakage by enforcing policy-based restrictions on what sensitive data should never appear in Outlook, OneDrive, SharePoint, or shared Teams links. Strong receiving policies also reduce phishing risk by blocking rogue senders and malicious inbound content before it reaches users. Recent DLP statistics show that 85% of organizations experienced data loss in the past year, including SMBs. Even more concerning, just 1% of users typically generate 90% of DLP alerts, highlighting why visibility and enforcement are critical. 2. Identity monitoring and threat detection. Microsoft 365 is a prime target because it sits directly at the identity layer, governed by Microsoft Entra ID. Effective security requires continuous visibility into behavior-based indicators of attack, supported by M365 Identity Threat Detection. This includes detecting impossible travel logins, suspicious source IP addresses, VPNs, TOR exit nodes, and traffic originating from known malicious infrastructure identified through threat intelligence feeds. Monitoring must also cover high-risk configuration changes, such as new email forwarding rules in Exchange or recovery email modifications. These are commonly abused by threat actors to maintain persistent access and silently intercept communications. OAuth and SSO grants should also be monitored closely via Microsoft Defender for cloud apps to identify risky third-party access or abnormal data extraction behavior. A real-world example from Senrix MXDR illustrates this risk clearly. In one incident, our team received correlated alerts indicating a suspicious new sign-in alongside the creation of an out-of-domain email forwarding rule. Investigation confirmed that the account had been compromised via an information-stealing malware that harvested Microsoft 365 session tokens. The activity originated from Hong Kong and was associated with infrastructure already flagged across multiple threat intelligence feeds. Because the behavior was detected early, our team was able to contain the incident quickly, preventing data exfiltration and further account abuse. 3. Account Lifecycle Management. Account Lifecycle Management is often overlooked but critical. When employees leave an organization, proactive steps must be taken to ensure they no longer retain access to Microsoft 365 resources. This includes revoking active session tokens in Entra ID, invalidating passwords, and disabling OAuth grants. Offboarding should also include monitoring for indicators of attack during the end-of-employment window. Suspicious sharing activity in SharePoint, abnormal downloads from OneDrive, or data exfiltration attempts frequently occurred during this phase and should be treated as high-risk events. 4. Email authentication, DMARC, SPF, and DKIM. Email authentication is foundational to protecting your domain within the Microsoft ecosystem. DMARC ensures that emails sent from your domain are legitimate and originate from authorized sending servers. DKIM adds an additional cryptographic signature that verifies messages have not been tampered with in transit. Together with SPF, these controls prevent domain spoofing, reduce impersonation attacks, and allow receiving mail servers to enforce strict validation rules. This significantly limits phishing and spam campaigns that attempt to abuse your brand and domain reputation. 5. Core security best practices. Finally, strong fundamentals matter. Businesses should enforce the principle of least privilege across all accounts, ensuring users only have access to what they need and nothing more. This limits the blast radius in the event of a compromise. Organization-wide enforcement of multi-factor authentication via the Microsoft Authenticator app is non-negotiable. MFA adds a critical additional layer of protection, dramatically reducing the likelihood of successful account takeover, even when credentials are stolen.